Hello, and welcome to GUTV's Inside the Kennel Club. I'm Kennedy McGann, and tonight we have a very special edition for you. We have the honor of hosting two current members of the Gonzaga Kennel Club, as well as two co-founding pillars of what is now the largest organization on campus. Tonight, we will flash back to 1983 and experience the history of the kennel, the original cheers, the challenges they faced, and how it came to be what we know it as today. But first, what exactly is the Kennel Club? Matt Riso, the Vice President, and Nate Disser, the Operations Research Manager, are with us tonight to answer some of our questions. How are you doing tonight, guys?
Awesome.
Thank you so
great.
much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
For those who don't know, what is Kennel Club?
So, in the broad scheme of things, Kennel Club is the student section at all sporting events. So normally we're most famous for our men's basketball game, but we're also the student section at soccer games, baseball games, volleyball games, and we really just want to show our student athletes that we care about them and support them.
And what are some of the responsibilities with being a board member?
The biggest responsibility is probably just time. It's a huge commitment, just going to all the games, setting up promotions, and everything that just leads up to just organizing the whole student section for each game. So just being committed to time is really a big thing for us.
Now, Nate, I hear that you have a new position. It's called Operations Research Manager.
Yes.
Why did you guys decide to come up with that new job? What does that entail?
Well, yeah, like you said, it's a brand new job this year. Basically, we wanted to, well, I'm not sure what your guys' vision of it was, but now really we want to have a means of getting ideas from outside sources, not just our board. And the two biggest things for that are our club members and other schools. So for our club members this year, we have starting Kennel Crew, which is a focus group. Right now it's just freshmen. So that they can get their voices heard and they can help us with projects and ideas. And then also we are now part of the National Collegiate Student Section Association, which is a bunch of leaders from different schools who come together and collaborate so we can get new ideas from them as well. So it's really just branching out, trying to collaborate with other people, other groups, just to help us throughout the year.
That sounds wonderful. So how can freshmen get involved with Kennel Crew? How do they apply for that?
Well, this year it was started last year by the Kennel Club president, just to get more involvement from the club. That's one of our big goals. So this year we had all of our freshman rep applicants. They had the option of becoming part of Kennel Crew.
Okay.
So we knew right away they were dedicated, they were spirited, they wanted to be a part of it. So we just basically took all of them. But any freshman can join. So if anyone contacts one of us or contacts us through our website or our app or anything like that, they can join. We're very open to anyone who wants to have their voice heard.
That sounds wonderful. So what comes with Kennel Crew? What are the main responsibilities with that?
Do you want to talk about that?
Sure. So one of the big things is just helping us out where we need it. A lot of it will be getting people to the games, getting people to volleyball games. For instances, this evening we really want to go through the residence halls and do a little residence rally and try to get students together and get them all going to the volleyball game and really support our teams and get a big crowd. So that's a lot of what we'll use them for. And then also a big thing is idea generation. We really want to be one of those top student sections. We really want to be the innovative student section who comes up with these new ideas, new traditions, things like that. So that's what we can use all these fresh minds, especially straight out of high school, all coming from across the country, really bring them in and see what they have.
Are there any new cheer ideas?
There have been a few that we've come up with.
Any you'd like to demonstrate?
A big one for Kennel Crew, they love the roller coaster cheer. So if someone goes out in front and leads going through like you're in a roller coaster and the whole student section follows, that's a big idea.
Another one, it's not necessarily a cheer, but they really want to get, when the intros, all the lights dim and all the lights go off in the entire arena, they want to get everyone with their cell phone to have the little flash on the back and start using that as like a little light show
like
type
at a
thing.
concert.
Exactly. And use that as a little mini light show in the student section just because they thought it'd be a great idea. And one of the Kennel Crew members previously did that at his high school down in Santa Barbara. So.
Now I know outreaching to the community is really important as a Gonzaga student, but especially to Kennel Club. Are you guys taking steps to fulfill that need?
Definitely. So last year they started a branch called the Kennel Cares branch, which the former president last year, Sarah Wendland, she really wanted to use the size of our club to our advantage and really try to get that involvement and bring it off campus and bring it out to the community and show that we care so much about our community, and we appreciate the support that they have towards us and towards our school and towards us as a student section as well.
How can students get involved with Kennel Care?
So right now we actually have our Zag Up app, and on this app we have all these Kennel Care events that are going on, and they can kind of sign up through that. Many of the events will work with different groups on campus, such as Castle, GUSR, things like that. And then they'll be able to sign up on there and just show up at the events. So yeah, that's a big one.
That's great. It sounds like a really nice way to outreach to the community. So in 2011 and 2012, we won the Naismith Student Section of the Year Award. And how can we earn that title again this year?
From all of our club members, honestly. I mean, they're the ones who bring all the passion and the spirit to every game. So, you know, when the time comes, I guess in the spring is usually when that is, we just want to make sure that we've been ready. We've been at every single game and just try to make them just be as spirited as us and just lead them by example. So, I don't know, what else?
Definitely. I think a big thing is, yes, we're there for those huge games, the ones against Arizona, UCLA, BYU, St. Mary's, the things like that. But the ones that really show and make us that top student section is when we show up for those games that aren't necessarily as big as far as where we will be ranked and things like that, but just showing that we care about our team no matter who the opponent is, and we really want to support them and be as loud and crazy as we are for every single game. And then outside of basketball, even just showing that we're proud of who we are at every event that we go to.
Definitely. And what are you guys doing to boost that attendance at those other games?
Like basketball specifically, or just everything?
Any sport, especially women's basketball.
Yeah, I mean, that's the biggest challenge for us, and what most of our focus goes towards. So a lot of it's just through promos and just getting people to the games, just in general, because once they're there, they realize how fun it is and how much they love it. So, like a good example is for volleyball this year. One of the first games, we dorm stored, I think it was just CM, and we got a ton of freshmen to go to one of the beginning games, and we had a huge student section there, and they loved it. And the next game, we all went back. We didn't do anything to get people there or anything, and they were all there again.
Yeah.
So once we can get people just to go see what's happening and just to go for the first time, I think it's much easier to get them coming back because they realize how good we are at like every sport except, or including basketball, not just basketball. So.
Definitely. And then also for our women's team, our women's basketball team this year, we really want to try to get some tent cities organized, or at least one. And in the past, we've done it all for our big men's basketball games. And this year, we really want to show our women that we support them, we care about their team. So we really want to try to organize one for some of the big games that we have coming in. We have a couple Pac-12 teams coming into Spokane this year, so we really want to have a good, loud crowd for that. So
that sounds wonderful. Hopefully. Thank you so much for sharing your ideas and plans for the future with us tonight. That's greatly appreciated. So after the break, we are going to have a blast from the past and meet the original founders of the Kennel Club. We'll be right back.
I'm Kennedy, Vice President of the Kappa Sigma Colony of Spokane, and we're asking you to help us with our National Day of Service, which takes place April 4th through 6th. Our colony of service is going to be a Logan neighborhood cleanup, so we're asking you, all the students of Gonzaga, to help us improve the community. We'd like everyone to help Kappa Sigma Colony of Spokane in this great cause and in improving our community.
Ready to for the test?
Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy.
Shoot, I forgot. Yeah, I'm gonna start studying right now. Thanks for reminding me.
Okay, class, you have 60 minutes, and it's 240 points.
Welcome back. So we just heard from Nate Disser and Matt Riso about the current Kennel Club and its future. Now we have a chance to sit down with Bob Finn and my dad, Chris McGann, to learn about the club's past and how it all began. Thanks for being with us tonight, guys. We really appreciate having you. So is it hard, I really have to ask this, is it hard not to resist the urge not to revert back to your college days while on campus?
Oh, we already did.
We've done it numerous times already.
Yeah.
So.
Really?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, that's great. So what prompted you guys to create and organize student-based club on campus?
Well, we were all separated back at the Kennedy Pavilion back in the day, and so one of the coaches had come up to us and said, you know what would be great is if you guys could all get into the center court and all become one, and that way we'd be much louder. And back in the day, used to be the students on one side of the court and all the parents and adults on the other side of the court. So they really wanted to get us to be the founding part of the organization to get everybody into the game. Back then we were a 50-50 club. Okay. So we didn't win a lot of games, and that was, you know, a way that we could get excited about basketball.
And were you guys primarily sporting basketball events?
For the most part.
Okay.
Yeah.
And who were the original co-founders?
Well, it was myself, and then there was most of the baseball team.
Baseball team, okay.
And then we had Mike Shields, Sean Hogan, Joe Roberts, and several other gentlemen that were, they used to paint their faces, and they were part of the crowd too. So we had about 30 people that were part of the original founding club.
And why was it the baseball team?
We were just excited to be out there and support our team.
Yeah.
You know?
That's great. So I've seen some pictures of some old pictures from the past where one of you was in the ref's face with a paper bag over your head. Can you explain that story?
That'd be you. That'd be you. That wasn't
How were
me.
you able to get into the faces of the ref back then?
We used to have anything that we wanted to do at the basketball game, whether it was getting in the refs' faces, the players' faces. When the refs would make a bad call, this particular game we came up with the zebra with a red sign. I wish I had one tonight with a no referee, and we put it over our faces on the bad calls, and it just happened that I went after one of the refs that just made a bad call, and today you wouldn't see that.
No,
you know,
not at all. So Bob, you were the first president of the Kennel Club. What came with that? Any fears? And
No, not really. I mean, the group before us had set, you know, a pretty good precedent, and we knew what we had to do. And I mean, we essentially had to make as much noise as we could make, and we did that with, like what Chris said, with a limited number of people. And so there wasn't really a lot of pressure. I mean, it was more or less we were just a group of ball players and some other people just having a good time. So.
Did you have any traditions before the games?
We had a few, but I work for the university, so I can't really say too many. But no, probably the big one was we just got together as a group. We always went to someone's house and had a few libations, usually sold a pop or water, and then we'd go to the game afterward.
Yeah. When did you finally realize that you had officially made an impact?
Probably the first game. First game when we got into the stadium 5 minutes before the game, and it was all roped off for us. We didn't have to wait in line like the students today. We would just come into the stadium and we had center court all to ourselves.
That's great. So how did you come up with the name Kennel Club?
A group of us, there were 6 of us that got together at Mike Shields' house one night, and we started drawing names from the hat. We had the Dog Pound, the Kennel, the Dog Pound, the Dog House, and we just put it into a vote, and Kennel Club was the winner. Wow.
How many students were in the club at the very first official game?
Probably, I would say 30, 30, no more than 40. So, like I said, it was usually baseball players, and then probably, you know, some rugby players, and then some. I don't think we even had girls in the Kennel Club till about 87.
Wow.
88.
And, it wasn't planned that way.
No, it wasn't intentional. It was just the baseball group, and then other people started coming towards the center court, and they just, you know, it wasn't. It's not like you had to sign a piece of paper to join the club. If you're there, you're in.
Yeah. So I've heard stories, being a daughter of one of the co-founders, I've heard many stories, and one of them was about a raw seat with a toilet seat cover. Can you go into that a little bit?
Joe Hillock was one of the assistant coaches,
Okay.
and he came up to me one day and just said, "You would be perfect for something that I saw at one of the other universities," and it was called a raw seat. And this was a toilet seat that was like the butter commercial where you saw Parquet, where they'd open up the margarine
Yeah.
and say butter. And so I had Tom Bennett, who was an art major on the baseball team. He ended up doing the artwork for the raw seat. He ended up painting it, coming up with the center which said raw. So as soon as you opened up the toilet seat, everybody would yell raw. And then I could just rah, 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 get the crowd going both sides, back and forth between the adults and the student section. And we would get it going. And because we had the freedom back then, I would go chasing after the ref at a timeout with it, and everybody be barking at the refs, which was pretty
definitely.
funny.
What are some suggestions you guys have for the current Kennel Club?
You know, I think they're on a good track. I mean, the one component we obviously didn't have, their service components, you know, fabulous, what they do in the community. And they're just great representatives of the university. Back in our day, not so much. I mean, we were just getting it going, and it was a fun group, but I mean, they've taken it to a new level that, you know, at times when we were there, I don't think everyone was proud to be in the Kennel Club, but now they are by what they've done. So,
did you ever expect to become a legacy on campus and have to have children clean up the family name at GU?
Well, we've both had children go through the university and still have. And so as far as I'm concerned, yes, I'd be very appreciative if you could clean up the family name and
make a note.
The same with me as well. So
yes. How have things changed? And since 1983, 84, how have you seen? I'm sure you guys have been to some basketball games, you know, recently. So how have things changed, and what would you like to see in the future?
Well, the big change obviously is just the number. I mean, the number of people, and the way that they're. I mean, to try and get 1,500 to 2,000 students all doing the same thing. I mean, it's got to be difficult, and just the sheer number of, you know, and then also coming from Tent City, and that organization is just phenomenal. I bring other people to the university, and they see students out there. You know, what are they doing? Well, they're waiting in line so they can be first to stand in the front rows, and so it's pretty amazing. So, I mean, it's been a big change.
Would you guys like to participate in Tent City? If you were
no way.
You know what? I'm different from Bob. Bob works for the university. I'd be right there.
Really?
Oh, absolutely. And give me a snowy day, and I'll be right there in the tent.
Yeah. What are some of the games that you guys are looking forward to seeing the basketball teams play?
Well, I was told today that Arizona and UCLA was off the table, so I guess I won't be going to that game.
No.
Or those games.
You can watch it at my house.
Yeah, perfect. But Tennessee, I think, is coming to the battle in Seattle. We'll be at that game and supporting Gonzaga. We watch it on TV every single week. But when we're fortunate enough to get tickets, you know, that's a proud moment.
Yeah. When
we get to see the fans jumping up and down and going crazy before the game, during the game, after. It's great to see what we've created.
Why are you guys proud to be Gonzaga alumni?
Community.
Wow. Yeah, community. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Community and the legacy and what the university stands for, and the quality of the students that are turned out by this university are phenomenal.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much for having the time to come and sit down with us. We really appreciated it, and it was great to hear the story and the history of the club. So thanks again.
Thanks for having us.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Up next, we are going to bring our past and present members together and put their sportsmanship and spirit to the test. We'll be right back.
beautiful.
Hey, I like your smile. Great job. Keep up the good work.
Hey, your shirt looks really good on you.
And this here is the kindest girl on Gonzaga's campus.
You're the best. I love GU.
Hi, how are you? Good. How are you? Good. How are you? Good.
Hi.
Good. Hi.
How are you? Good.
Hi.
How are you? Good.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. Good.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
No, really. How are you?
Well, I'm studying for 2 tests I have tomorrow, which is kind of unfortunate, but I'm looking forward to the weekend. I'm going on a mountaineering trip, and that's going to be so much fun. We have to leave at
Welcome back to GUTV. We are going to play a game called Catchphrase. It has a Gonzaga twist though. So team 1 is Matt and Bob, and then team 2 is Nate and Chris. So for those of you who are unfamiliar with Catchphrase, one member of the team will pick a note card from one of these piles, and then we are going to have their team member try and guess the word. Now here's the catch to this game. Whoever is giving clues will hold a timer, and whoever is holding that timer when it goes off loses that round. All right, are you guys ready for this?
Born ready.
Okay, here we go. Go ahead, start the timer.
This is between the second quarter and the third quarter.
Halftime.
Yes.
Nice.
This event is this coming Saturday for our men's basketball game.
Craziness in the Kennel.
He is a player on the men's basketball team with somewhere overseas.
Karnowski.
The other one, big guy. He was a freshman last year. He's a lefty. He's got a really good.
Oh my God.
Yeah, not.
This is crazy.
What else? What else can I do?
Pass.
You got this?
Pass.
No passing.
It rhymes with.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
That round is over. So we got one point up for Bob and Matt.
Oh my God.
So start time there?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Round 2.
I'm so sorry.
This is after the 6th inning.
The 7th inning. Yes.
This is where you'll go in and get a soda after the game.
Concessions?
No. Well, if you're 21 and over.
Oh, Jack and Dan's.
This must be an older player. I've never heard of him. His last name is an electronic measurement of current.
Says the engineer.
No, I'm not an engineer.
Okay, we are all tied up, guys.
Oh my God.
This is the round.
That was our baseball coach.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, that's why I don't.
Yeah, so Steve Hertz was the baseball coach of my dad, Chris, and Bob when they played baseball back in the day. He's now the athletic director at Gonzaga.
All right, you ready?
Okay. Round 3. All tied up.
Spike.
Yes.
The current baseball coach.
Oh my goodness.
When you light something with
match.
So, and okay, that's last name, kind of. First name when you make your
check match.
To-do
list.
No, when you put something on a calendar, you
mark the date.
Okay.
Mark.
Come on, put that last.
What was the second word?
Bet you'd like to pass right now. How about
mark match? Mark matches.
Oh my God.
Mark.
So close. So I don't know how.
Mark. Mitch. Mark.
Yeah.
All right.
Mark Mactoff.
Oh, goodness.
That's a tough last.
All right, so now we've got 2 points for Nate and Chris, and 1 point for Bob and Matt. Here we go. Next round.
Yes. John Stockton.
Oh, yeah. After
the only way you would know that.
Elite 8.
Oh crap. Oh, it's me. This is, you drink out of it and it stays upright and it's, you get something out of it. It's called and it costs like $80.
Nice job.
There we go.
You know what that one was?
Keg stand.
Oh, kegs. Okay.
All right.
Wow, we
need
to set ourselves
now
up for that one.
the game is tied.
Keg stand.
That's what you get.